Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video I hoped I would not have to make, but it seems that Blizzard has forced both mine and a lot of other people's hands with their business decision that is going to now directly affect both old and new consumers. So, for those of you not in the know, recently Overwatch had its first seasonal event to coincide with the Rio Olympics, and with it came a slew of new unlocks in the theme of the Summer Games. However, these items came with a big caveat, that being unlike all other in-game items, these were not purchasable with the in-game currency. They were loot box exclusive, and at the start of this whole event, there was quite a bit of backlash as these loot boxes were only purchasable from the online store of that system. Because of this, a DDoS attack happened and caused massive backlash. Now, it was played off as Sombra causing the DDoS attack and crashing the servers, with her hacking Blizzard's Twitter saying she was adding a new message and fixing our Rio loot box problem, as now every single box was a Rio loot box from now until the end of the event. Removing Sombra's ARG from the topic, it is easy to surmise that Blizzard used the Sombra ARG as a publicity stunt to not give the real DDoSers any credit, or B, to crash their own servers for an hour to fix the Rio loot box system. However, regardless, now this fix is great. Everyone is happy, every box is now a summer box, and everyone was excited at the prospect of getting cool new stuff, with Blizzard again using Sombra and the DDoS as their escape card, making a statement about how they messed up, and from now on, every time an event rolls around, every box will change to an event box for the duration of that event. Again, this was fantastic. But now we come back round to today's video, and the video that many of us were hoping we wouldn't have to make, which is about the now locked content. And on Blizzard's Overwatch website that is vague as shit on most things, it states that all loot can be obtained via the in-game currency. Only now, it can't. And now this is where the backlash is coming in, as now the games have ended and the boxes and the subsequent loot in those boxes are locked away, maybe forever, which has everyone, one, in an uproar for several reasons. First, Jeff Kaplan's absolutely retarded statements. Here's one of them now.
The best bit about the event's justification was this line, though. My impression so far is that it's been well received, once you remove the debate over the items not being available for credits. Yes, Jeff. No, you're absolutely right. Once you remove all the complaints about your event, there sure are no complaints.
And as Jim says, yes, Jeff, there sure is no negative criticism once you remove all of the negative criticism. Just like how this video will be 100% positive once I disable the like bar and remove all of the negative points. Although, at that point I would be no better than Velicify. Oh, of course that was a joke. I have him on Skype and I wished him a happy birthday, even though he never responded to me. Too busy making a video about the Dream Ball Raichu. Bloody goddamn But the other comment Jeff Kaplan made was along the lines of, we hear you, but this is not changing, we want the items to feel unique. And, to use another video by Force Gaming,
so the best way to increase their odds of getting the drop that they want is to obtain a large quantity of boxes. And what's the best way to do that quickly? Spend money. Now, in response to the recent uproar over all of this, Jeff Kaplan has come out and more or less said the following. We hear you, we're taking the feedback, but this isn't changing. It was meant to be a fun little event that everyone gets to participate in for free and have a chance to get new, unique items. And I get what he's saying, however, I think he also might be missing one of the main reasons that people are complaining. The items don't feel unique as much as they feel locked behind randomness that can be circumvented by spending money. And this is making people feel pushed towards spending money on a game that they've already purchased. And I think what's most interesting to me is their decision to not let people get those items with in-game credits, but then also still spend money on them.
which is 100% true. Yes, you want them to feel unique, and for the most part, they are, but unique to whoever dropped the most money into a large amount of boxes, which really pushes the consumers who have already paid the $60, £45 for the game to pay even more for the boxes, turning the consumer into the dehumanizing term of a whale and creating the freemium haves and have-nots mindset and ecosystem. And this puts Blizzard in a really bad position, as yesterday I was in my game store speaking to Rob, the manager, and one of the workers, Jeff, and during me walking to the counter, Robert and Jeff were talking about the Rio boxes, and I got into the talk with them, with Jeff taking inspiration from his AAA counterpart Jeff Kaplan. Wow, shit, that's scary how they almost think the same and they've got the same name. But, like his AAA counterpart, he said the microtransactions are okay, and the money spent on the boxes will go to free updates and characters. You got Anna for free, you're getting all the new emotes for free, and you're getting the new Reinhardt skins for free! 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 Now, while it's true that Splatoon got free updates with no microtransactions needed, like Jim, I'll buy that cookie. I'll walk with you to the end of that pier. But you're telling me, with all YouTube channels, streamers, and as bad as the term is, whales, they were not pumping enough money into these boxes that not only you had to justify the free content with that excuse, but you also felt the need to screw over the consumers that do not have the money to drop into boxes. I mean, for fuck's sake, Forced Gaming opened 200 Rio boxes. 200. Plus, in the related thread, there is Seagull opening 50, plus, for the purposes of this demonstration, and I'll explain more to the end, I got 50 boxes. That alone is like $300 that could fund the Reinhardt skins all on their own. I put this point to my Jeff, and he did agree, and he said a fix, something so simple that it's brilliant. So now, I want Blizzard to pay attention to this. They won't, they're a AAA company that has stuck up their own ass, but if you are watching Jeff Kaplan or Blizzard, here's how you fix your current situation and everything in the future. You see, my Jeff made a passing suggestion that what they could have done was still make them locked by the loot boxes during the event, but after the event ends, all the prizes then become buyable with the in-game coins. However, because they are supposed to feel special and unique according to Jeff, make them 3 times the price. So this legendary Tracer skin that is normally 1,000, make you feel like you've had to earn it a little bit more and put a little bit more effort into it by making it 3,000. Yes, it's 3 times the price, but at the same time, it's a special event skin. Applying this to all future outfits, like how the Halloween one, Mercy's Witch outfit, yes, it's 3,000, but it's a special seasonal one that needs a bit more time and dedication to earn it. And you would still get the money from the loot box, because you would have all of the streamers that want to put the money in and get the outfit quickly to be able to play with that skin for that season, earning them extra views, and you'd still allow the casual poorer players to buy it via in-game coins, even if it costs 3 times the coins. Now, let's move on to the next point, the locking after the timer runs out. This is the worst thing you could have done, as we've just stated above. You could have easily locked them during the event to push for more people to buy the boxes and promote the idea of getting more boxes. There's nothing wrong with that. But then, once the event ends, all the content people missed could have been purchasable with the in-game coins, just triple the price. As now, new consumers that got the game from everyone enjoying the event can no longer get these items, so they will feel very left out. And the other is the 100% marker. On your own site, Blizzard, your thing is to strive for completion, but no one can do this unless they got all of the Rio unlocks for that particular character. Be it what you want. A human, a dragon, a wolf, a pony, a dead, soulless, lying husk, we, as a collective, get a sense of satisfaction and completion about the number 100. It's basic psychology, that if a task is given to someone, seeing the number 100 means that task is complete, and it makes that person that got the number 100 have this sense of satisfaction and makes them feel good about themselves. But you are currently making everyone feel bad about themselves. Luckily, via these 50 boxes and grinding the absolute shit out of the normal ones, I got all of the Rio stuff for 2 of my 3 mains. However, there are people like Console Command who love and main Diva, who are on the poorer side of things, that even after grinding 24/7, constantly playing, not really sleeping, they still missed out on the Diva spray, meaning that they now have to look at a 57 out of 58 Diva, potentially forever, forced to forever be at 99%. Even my other friend, Alexander Ravens, at first, he did not see the point of going crazy over this Rio stuff and did not see the point of getting 100% with a character. But as the final day of the event drew to a close and he was not getting, and in the end did not get, the Widowmaker pose or skin, he feels bad and pissed off that now one of his favourite heroes is going to be forever at 98%. And this brings us on to the third point of forever locking. You see, Jeff Kaplan has also said if this event is successful, we might do it again every year. Notice the key word there is might. We might do it every year. But if we don't, too bad. That stuff is locked forever. I want to bring up a childhood going through my teenage years example of how this can destroy the interest of a game. When I was younger, I played Neopets. All the way up till I was 19, I got my Sapphira to level 24, as leveling was kind of slow, and it had some cool shit on her. However, Neopets has the same problem of what you're doing now, making event-exclusive prizes, then locking them away forever. There was a few really amazing paintbrushes that everyone sought after. The Astral Rainbow Brush, the Wraith Brush, and the best, most sought after of them all, the Jeweled Paintbrush. Only, like with the Summer Games, there was a time limit on them. The Wraith Brush in particular was one that I was gunning for. I mean, look at this Sapphira in Wraith form, it looks cool. And I started too late. The Wraith Brush was a 2007 Halloween exclusive. I started in 2009, and because it was a exclusive item, it never came back. But it's okay, you can either grind coins to buy one for 6 million Neo coins, or you can settle for the Dark Paintbrush, which is common as shit. Still looks cool, but I mean, compare them. It's not as cool as the Wraiths. But the reason for me quitting Neopets, the reason I stopped was not age. I would say out of the 3 big onliners at the time, being Neopets, Club Penguin and the other one, Neopets was the well thought out best one of the 3. But regardless, the reason I stopped playing Neopets and why it as a whole has seen such a dip in popularity and many users leaving is exactly because of what Blizzard is doing with Overwatch right now. My quit came from exclusive items like in Overwatch. You see, there was a checkbook to keep track of what items you had found at any one point, a stamp book for the stamp collection and so on. And while a lot of the items like the Wraith Brush would require an immense amount of grinding to 6 million coins, the 100% was still possible. However, this new event was like the Summer Games Festival, and that was a fairy event, and fairies are basically the guardians of Neopets land. But for a limited time, you can be like your favourite fairy and win their costume. How? Well, around Neopets land, there are wheels. Every 12 hours, you can spin these wheels for free, either getting nothing, something good, or losing an item in your inventory that's not in use. So make sure you've got all your rare shit like paintbrushes in a safe, or they're in use like painting your pet. But during this particular event, the fairy wheel, this one, could be spun every 2 hours rather than every 12. With the number 12, the lock and key there, unlocking a fairy costume piece or a fairy item. Oh man, that would be cool if I could get my Safara to look like the Space Fairy with them dragonfly wings and the sparkly space tights, or the Water Fairy so it's like an angel Safara with a full mermaid body. That would be cool. And like Overwatch, it was governed by all the other RNG, like not actually landing on the number 12, getting duplicates of the fairy costumes, or not even getting a fairy costume piece you wanted, or not even getting a fairy costume piece at all and only getting other fairy related items like the fairy books and fairy paintbrushes. And like Overwatch, the event ending with a lot of people, including myself, not getting the items they wanted. And like Overwatch, these fairy items were not like the other items. They could not be traded for on the in-game market. They were locked exclusively to the player, meaning, like Overwatch, if you missed out on the Space Fairy suit, then too bad, it's gone forever. It can't be traded or bought, and now your account cannot get 100%. It will now be stuck at 99% maximum, depending on what costume pieces you did or did not get. So, what's the point? There is no point in trying anymore. Yes, the account is still there, as you can see here, and seems it's not loading on the page. Here is Mew3, because I was unoriginal back then. And, of course, I got a real email address and lost the old one, so I could never get my account back. And more exclusive locked forever stuff came out. Yeah, when Neopets was popular, people bitched about it. But hey, it's a kid's site, right? No one cares in the end whether you got the Space Fairy costume or not. I mean, you could always go buy this girl's Space Fairy costume in real life, which is very true, I guess. But here, it is different. Blizzard, this is not some shitty kids site. This is a game that has seen millions of buyers day one. A game that is now rivaling Team Fortress 2 in popularity and dominating the hero shooting market, turning things like Battleborn to dust. Because who the fuck talks about Battleborn anymore? You have many players invested in the idea of getting 100%, even if it's just for the one hero they use. And as it stands right now, most players cannot. And Jeff Kaplan and the team are doing very little to address any concerns everyone has, which is now impacting the servers. I switched it on today to record the 5 loot boxes to say the new ones are going and the Rio ones are gone and this is what we've got and all like that, you know, for this video. And as you can see here, From the latest version, there is a message saying a new second DDoS attack is happening. Now, do I agree with this? Of course not. It's ruining the enjoyment of the game for others, depending on what you think of Quick Play with its broken hero stacking nonsense, but I can see why people are doing it, as Blizzard is not listening to anyone's tweets, not replying to anyone, and it seems that the only way to get their attention is to DDoS the servers, which this time they cannot play off as, oh, it's just Sombra doing it. It's clear why it's happening, and now Blizzard really needs to address the situation. And now I come to my stance on the thing and my final words. This 50 loot boxes, I was hoping to have as a seasonal thing. People like watching loot boxes getting opened, but it seems that I can no longer support this, as it seems to be fueling Blizzard's exclusive content delusions. As when Halloween rolls up, who's to say that they're not going to pull the same thing that they did now, where content will be locked behind a timer and basically a paywall, and then once the timer expires, it's lost forever, much like this Season 1 spray. Like, I have all the default sprays now, except this Season 1 for being in the top 500, and Season 1 was a complete disaster, with Blizzard even admitting this, so it makes this spray nearly unobtainable in the first place. But what happens now? I know two friends of mine, being Photon and Frost, that got the game recently, days after Season 1 ended. So are they supposed to live with this thing being locked away forever, as am I? Or will it be unlocked for like 100 coins at the end of Season 2, so that they're always a season behind, giving new consumers a chance to get anything that they've missed? Now, where do I stand on all of this? Well, I've been back and forth on this issue across the release and the summer games up until this. Like Jim Sterling, I was, and still am, very hardline on microtransactions in $60 games, with one exception, that being loot boxes. So taking something like Dead Space 3, which fucked over the entire game, to desperately cram microtransactions into it, that's bad. That's going to get ripped apart for doing so. A loot box system, it's just something on the side, and most games like CSGO and Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch have them, but they don't really affect the gameplay. And like Garden Warfare 2, everything could be obtainable in-game. And I'll agree to a certain extent, as we talked about streamers and YouTubers that we've seen and demonstrated here today will buy large amounts of loot boxes, which will in turn fund the free updates. And like Total Biscuit says, who does not have the time to grind, a loot box system for people like Total Biscuit is fine. However, due to this latest fiasco, where not only were prizes locked behind a gambling wall that pushed a lot harder towards people spending real life money, because that's basically what it was when money's involved, it's gambling, you're betting real world money on getting the legendary British Tracer skin that Spyro didn't get. Not only were the prizes not really all that obtainable to other non-monetary consumers, but now they're locked away forever maybe, unless Blizzard feels it was good enough that they will bring it back next year. And now I'm moving more and more away from Total Biscuit and far, far more towards Jim Sterling's side of things and going full hardline on the $60 games having microtransactions being totally wrong and shit. And unless Blizzard makes a statement soon clearing all of this up, I'm sorry, but I might have to disqualify Overwatch and Garden Warfare 2 from any kind of Game of the Year awards. So, Jeff Kaplan, Blizzard employees, I hope this video finds its way to you, and here are some points on what you need to address. Number 1. the Rio prizes and making them available forever, even if they're triple the price, like the British Tracer skin being 3,000 because it's special. Number 2, doing this in the future. Like, yes, there is a time limit on the events, but if you miss that event prize, then you can buy it at triple the price. And number 3, addressing the sprays and such, like the Season 1 spray for new consumers. Is it lost to them forever, or will they be able to get it at the end of Season 2, so they're always a season behind if they did not have the game at the time, or they did not get into the top areas? At least addressing these 3 issues. Let us know your point of view. Let's work something out, and everyone will be far more sated than they are now. As right now, you're being a bit like Niantic with the lack of responding to everybody. Also, the Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas costumes. Don't know if you've thought them out yet, but here's a few to show there's no ill will towards you. I'm bitching at you because I love you. And I thought they were kind of clever in my own way, even if some of them are kind of obvious. But Diva's Halloween costume, her as a mummy, wrapped up in bandages. Then her mech can be a sarcophagus. You know, like how a mummy is usually locked inside one? The same way, Diva is locked inside her mech when she's using it. Tracer's Thanksgiving costume. Tracer in a turkey suit, because, you know, turkeys have to run around really fast as to not get killed or end up on the table. Or, you know, May as the turkey, because she's fat. No, really, she is. It's not just her coat, or if you went with the turkey suit, it's not just the turkey suit making her fat. She is genuinely fat. Or, for Christmas, Tracer as a reindeer. You know, as Blitzen is like the fastest one. Or, just thought about this one, Mercy in the reindeer outfit, because she has them wings on her back, and if you were like, give her the antlers, then you could take a cheap pot shot and put on your website, Overwatch has a better alicorn than Hasbro. Right, and with the bad news out of the way, let's get to some good news tomorrow. So, on the Sombra thing, apparently there's some sort of weird, I'll put it on screen now, this is what she's posted on the Blizzard forums, and people have translated it into some sort of countdown to chaos, like there was 18 hours to go, so maybe she'll be unlocked tonight or tomorrow, so let's see if we can have a positive Overwatch video tomorrow to negate this negative one. But there you go. If you did indeed enjoy the video, despite it being kind of a bitching video to Blizzard, hoping that they listen and fix this, then please feel free to leave a like. Send this to Blizzard. Let's get some communication from Blizzard. Let's have a discussion, Jeff Kaplan. We can work this out together. So, you know, leave likes, show your support on it, send it to Blizzard. Let's see if we can get Blizzard to work this shit out. If you're enjoying the Overwatch content and you want to see more, like the potential Sombra video that's coming out tomorrow when this countdown to chaos hits 0, then do make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And there are links down below to my Twitter and Patreon if you want to go the extra mile, or if you want to see what I'm doing right now, but of course you don't have to. But for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.